Good morning. It is day 19 of Vlogmas. I feel like I've woken up kind of ready to go, full of beans, getting on with stuff straight away, which doesn't always happen. I do tend to be fairly productive in the morning, but this morning I felt a little bit more ready to just do a bit more physical stuff. So I've had a shower and done some yoga already. There is a Yoga with Adriene video that I really love if I want to do yoga in the morning, and I'll put a link to it down below. I feel like it's stretching, it's strengthening, it's just positive. It feels like you set yourself up for a good day when you start off with that practice. And I want to get right into cutting out my next sewing project. I don't have the right invisible zipper or anywhere near the color of the invisible zipper that I need for my Norma dress. So I've ordered one online that should be arriving the next couple of days. Should get here in time to get the dress done for Christmas. I'm not expecting it to be a problem, honestly, but you know, things can be a little bit unreliable these days with the post and everything, but hopefully that won't be an issue. Like I said, I did manage to finish the hem yesterday, so as I expected, it's literally just going to be inserting that invisible zipper, so it's so close. And then the next thing I'm working on, I mentioned before, are some Christmas stockings for me and my husband. So I got a pattern from Scrumptious website. I got the fabric from there as well. Really beautiful Christmassy fabric that I'm excited to use. But I wanted to get this pattern from Scrumptious. It wasn't very expensive, but I just wanted to support them as a shop because I find that they always have like the quickest shipping, really good customer service, and I feel like it's nice to support the businesses that you care about. Of course, you can get free stocking patterns online, and you can even just draw your own, but I've seen a lot of very wonky looking stockings. So I thought I'd rather go with one that I feel like I can trust. Should be really straightforward to make, just depends on how and when I get the time to try and put it together. But I feel like at least if I get it cut out right now, then I can have a good go at it. I am also adding some quilt batting into it, which was not a part of the original design, but I just feel like it will make it feel, it'll look like a snuggly stocking, which is the kind of stocking that I want to make. So I'm gonna crack on with that now. To cut out all the fabric for the stockings. So this is the fabric that my husband picked. Very Christmassy, very nice and fun. And for the lining, because these are lined stockings, we've gone for just some straight up black linen because that's what I had. It's a little bit of an unusual choice, but the black and the red, I think that will be a nice lining inside of it. And there is going to be a, called a cuff? Yeah, there's going to be a white contrast cuff at the top. So we each have a white cuff at the top of ours. And then the fabric I have is this one, another very Christmassy one. And I'm lining it with this red. This is actually a cotton twill that I've got left over from another project, but I feel like those colors work well together. And again, I've got the white cuff for me. And then I've cut out my cotton batting pieces. So these are going to get stitched together. I don't think I'm going to get very far as the actual sewing, but what I can probably get done this morning before breakfast is just pinning all of the fabric pieces together to the cotton batting pieces, because I'll baste those before I do any of the sewing. But let's do the advent calendars before I have my breakfast all started. So I'm going to do my Kylie in the Machine. Ooh, she's reflective today. Kylie in the Machine advent calendar first. Day 19, she is planning. All part of the process. Checking the back of these now. I don't want to make any more mistakes, miss anything. So this is a little kitty sidekick. Well, that's fun. Now, I don't have a cat. I don't know that many people in my life that I would sew for who have cats, so I'm gonna have to think about where I might use these up. I mean, they are fun anyway, but yeah, I've got a lot more dogs in my life, people with dogs, but I'm sure I will find an opportunity for these. Okay, on here we've got a 19 is right in the middle. Center place. Whoa. This might be my favorite. Wow. Oh my gosh, look at all the colors. Ah, it's so fun. Now this looks a little more green on screen. I think I'm gonna have to do a photo of this one because this is very like a light tealy color, but there's just so much there. We've got yellow sections, we've got some blue, we've got flecks of like a red coming through. This one has got a lot going on. That is so vibrant, so much fun. Love this one. Love this one. Okay, so what I need to do now is see if I can get my stocking pinned together to the batting before breakfast. That is my aim for right now anyway, but we will be checking in again a bit later in the day. A few things I know we've got going on, so I will see you soon. So I did actually manage to get a little bit of what I would call sneaky sewing done. I quickly sewed these, or basted these pieces together whilst my husband was brushing his teeth and washing his face and getting ready. So we can now get breakfast together. But what I've managed to do, I'll show you. So all of the main outside stocking pieces have been basted to the quilt batting. And they are so snuggly. They feel so lovely and cozy. And I've also done the same for the cuff pieces. So that way the whole thing will be nice and squishy. And I can start pinning them together at some point later on. But I feel like I've broken the back of this project, which is always a good way to feel first thing in the morning. So breakfast time. We are off on what feels like a road trip, which is hilarious. Basically, I'm driving to my normal route to work, plus a little bit extra. But I have my husband Phil with me, so it's a lot more fun than just driving by myself to work. We are going to a very fun thing called Gingerbread City, which is in the Museum of Architecture, and it is gingerbread building structures designed by architects, which I think sounds incredibly cool. I hope it's as good as I'm expecting. I will obviously do a bit of filming so you can see what it's like, but it definitely, I think, will be Christmassy one way or another. to stop. We are back home again. That was so cool. It was better than I had hoped, honestly. I think considering that these were designed by architects, it definitely showed. They did say that there was a theme of sustainability, so everyone was trying to show some version of sustainability. There were so many great details. In another world, I would have loved to hang around for a whole lot longer, but as I'm sure you can all appreciate, I'm quite anxious about being around people for longer than I need to with all the pandemic and Christmas coming up. I definitely don't want to take any unnecessary risks. We were very much keeping distance from everyone, wearing medical grade masks and everything. They were obviously limiting the number of people going in, but you just can't be too safe really these days. So I will say that it was a really, really cool thing to do. And if you are able to go, if you feel safe, if you're in a situation where it's safe for you to go, I highly recommend going to check this out. Apparently they do it every year and it's the 5th year that they've been doing it. So I am very much hoping to go back another year, and hopefully at a time where I feel a little bit more relaxed going around and can take a bit more time taking in some of the details. I'm actually really happy that I filmed because I feel like I'm going to be able to see more of the details when I look back at the footage, because I was flying through somewhat, but it was a really cool thing to do. I think that's our last real big event out before Christmas. We've got a few more Christmassy things planned, but more at home rather than out events. So I hope all of you enjoyed going out and seeing what we saw. I've got a bit of time to sew, so I'm gonna try and work on that stocking. I've been doing some pinning already, so hopefully that will help me feel a little bit more ahead. And I'm not gonna make any promises. I'm not gonna have any expectations of how far I get, but theoretically it's a simple project. So we'll see how we go. So I've made some good progress. I have made, it's like one continuous tube and another, which are going to be then stitched together. So I just need to slip stitch the end on here, and then the same obviously on this one, and then this is going to be the lining side and my red is the lining side. Those need to be turned inside. Obviously I'll need a good press as well, and all that's left after that is I need to stitch on something to hang it with, so a little ribbon to hang it. So not far, not bad. I don't know if I'm going to get it all completely finished today, but if not, it's not going to take very long to finish up as soon as I can. But they seem fun so far. I'm enjoying. So just to give you an update, I have printed off, taped together, and cut out a PDF pattern. It is for the Toaster Sweater 1 by Sew House 7, which I was talking about in a previous video. It's the raglan sleeve one with a kind of stand-up collar and cuffs at the sleeve and cuffs at the hem. But I'm not actually waiting until I get the fabric that I've ordered. So I ordered some fabric from Like So Amazing that's a grid pattern, but that's not what I'm doing with this right now, because I have some fabric already that I've got that is pre-washed, that's ready to go, that I had been wanting to make a toaster sweater for as well. And so I'm going to make that one first from fabric that I've already got. And I also have pretty much finished the stockings. The only thing they need is something to hang by. So these are the two. I think they're super cute. So this is my one. And my husband's one. They have this great squishy, snuggly quality because of the quilt batting that I put in there. But they need to have something to hang. And I've got a ton of Christmassy ribbon. And I got him to pick out the one he wanted, and I picked out one for myself. But yeah, I have a ton of Christmas ribbon because a few years back I made some really whole elaborate present for all of the people in my family when I went home to Chicago for Christmas. I made little tiny sugar cookies that I stuck inside washed and sterilized baby food jars with some little white sprinkles inside. They looked kind of like snow globes, and I tied some ribbon around the base of it. I will find a picture and stick it up so you can see what I'm talking about, but I've got so much Christmas ribbon that I've been just gradually using since then because I wanted a whole variety. And so what we've picked is for my husband's one, because he's got a lot of red and white, he's picked this green Christmas ribbon. I'll get it up there so you can see it's got little candy canes on it. And that's a nice contrast on there. And then for my one, I decided to go for a red. There was good in both colors. And that one's got candy canes as well. That's actually just a total coincidence. Candy cane action. So I think that will be good on there. So I probably won't finish these tonight, but they'll be very close to being finished. So that won't take very long to put those together. So next time I get a little bit of an opportunity for sewing stuff, I will be finishing those. If my zipper arrives, I'll stick it on my Christmas dress. If it doesn't, I can cut out my toaster sweater, which is going to be my next make. So that's what I'm up to sewing wise. This evening, I am going to be making us some Fettuccine Alfredo, which is a good one. Is a very indulgent one, I will say. There's a lot of cheese and cream involved and butter, but it's not a bad thing. It is a tasty one. And we'll be talking to my parents again. So Sunday evenings, we Skype with my parents if I'm not working. And then we will round the day out by watching an old Muppet show, which is what we've been doing recently. So our evening is pretty much set to be nice and chill, and sounds good to me anyway. And I will check in with all of you again tomorrow. No advent candle tonight, guys, because if you remember from yesterday, if you haven't watched yesterday, we had to say goodbye to the advent candle. But I'll have a little bit of footage to round the evening out anyway, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.